Here on YouTube at Sports Bonanza John and on Kick Sports Kick John. After about an hour weather delay, we are getting set for the Cardinals and Cubs from Wrigley Field in Chicago. This is the second of a three-game series between these two teams. Cardinals winning 17-1 in the opener yesterday. Cubs looking to even the series against the Cardinals in this one. Pitching matchup tonight. It's going to be Kyle Leahy taking the mound tonight for the Cardinals. He will be facing Shota Imanaga, getting the start for the Cubs on the mound. Let's go ahead and set the batting order for you. First for the St. Louis Cardinals, coming in 46-39 on the season, third place in the National League Central. 7.5 games behind the division-leading Milwaukee Brewers, and they line up this way, leading it off for the Cardinals. Well, let me get the right thing up here. I did a little bit of the Mets-Braves game before while there was a weather delay waiting to get this one, and I forgot to change the screen back. Okay, here we go. The batting order for the St. Louis Cardinals is as follows. Leading it off will be the second baseman, J.J. Weatherholt, batting second. DHing tonight for the Cardinals, Ivan Herrera. Hitting third and playing right field, Jordan Walker. Cleanup hitter for the Cardinals, first baseman Alec Burleson. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, Mason Wynn. In the number 6 spot will be third baseman Jose Fermin. Batting seventh and playing left field tonight for the Cardinals, Lars Nootbaar. Hitting eighth and catching, Pedro Pages. And batting ninth and playing center field will be Nathan Church. So again, the Cardinals batting order, top third of the order, Weatherholt, Herrera, Walker. Middle of the order, Burleson, Wynn, and Fermin, with the bottom third of Nootbaar, Pages, and Church. And Shota Imanaga getting the start for the Cubs. 18th start of the season, 5-6 record. 4.3 ERA. He's walked 23, struck out 92 in 98 and a third innings. Cardinals have, I mentioned, won the first game of the series. They've won 3 of the first 4 games against the Cubs this season. They have one more game in this series tomorrow. Then the teams will meet again at the end of the month for a 4-game series in St. Louis. Mentioned Cardinals coming in 46-39 in third place in the National League Central, 7.5 behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Cubs come in 49-39, second place in the National League Central, 6 back of Milwaukee in the National League Central. In case you hear some pops in the background, we've had some weather come through where I'm at as well. Weather's passed through, and so that was a call for the neighbors to have their fireworks show out there. So in case you hear the pops in the background, that's what that is. We are just about set for one of the best rivalries in baseball, Cardinals and Cubs, on this 4th of July evening at Wrigley Field. Been raining pretty much all day up there in Chicago, but hopefully have a little bit of a break to get this one in tonight. $70 degrees at first pitch at Wrigley Field. Umpiring crew tonight, Mark Ripperger behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Brock Ballou over at first base. Dan Merzel at second, and Dan Bellino, the umpire, over at third base. Just about another week left before the All-Star break. All-Star game coming up a week from Tuesday in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. Imanaga completing his warm-up tosses as we are just about set to get this one underway. Weatherholt will start it off at the plate for the Cardinals. Weatherholt on the season hitting .260, 12 home runs. He's drove in 35. Crowd still filing in at Wrigley Field. Maybe about an hour weather delay to get this one started. Keep you updated on the MLB scoreboard as the night goes on. So here we go. J.J. Weatherholt steps into the batter's box to get this one started. First pitch from Imanaga. We're underway on a Saturday night, and Weatherholt sends the first pitch into left field, and that is gone into the net on the first pitch of the game. J.J. Weatherholt homers to left, and it's 1-0 Cardinals on one pitch. Wow. Well, that's a way to get the game started if you're the Cardinals. Holy smokes. Weatherholt with his 13th homer of the year, RBI number 36. Ball one to the number 2 hitter, Ivan Herrera. Herrera hitting .258 on the year, 10 home runs. He's drove in 38. 1-0 is a swing and a miss. Counts even, a ball and a strike. Yeah. Brewster in the live chat. Yeah, first pitch on the 4th. That's right. Yeah. Two-one the count on Herrera. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Yeah, Brewster, you're right. I don't know if anybody. I'm not going to look it up, but I'd like to know how many 4th of July games have started with a first pitch home run over the years. Like I say, I'm not. Well, I might look it up at the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Herrera strikes out. Good bounce back by Imanaga, and it'll bring up Jordan Walker. .290 hitter, 19 home runs. He's drove in 63. Leads the Cardinals in pretty much every offensive category. And say strike. 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch downstairs. Counts even, 1-1. Okay, well, actually, As the 1-1 pitch misses, it's 2-1. This is actually the second game today. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I was going to say this is the second game today to start with a first pitch home run, but that's not exactly accurate. In the Pirates Nationals game earlier today, James Wood of the Nationals started off the bottom of the first with a first pitch home run. So it wasn't technically a first pitch of the game home run. Two. Bounced foul. Count stays 2-2. Yeah, Drusta, that's all I could find. There was one last year too. Maybe you can find something. That was the only run of the game for the Nationals today too, as they were beaten 7-1 at home by Pittsburgh today. 2-2 pitch from Imanaga to Jordan Walker. Inside, that'll fill the count 3-2. Hey, Drusta, where you put in the live chat, this guy up next is a problem too. Are you referring to a Burleson or 3-2? That's ball 4. That's a walk to Walker, and it'll bring up Burleson. 276 hitter, 14 home runs. He's drove in 62. I do want to point out to any new viewers on my live stream channel, I like to point this out every time. My YouTube TV, my TV provider has that built-in delay, so the line score on the screen is going to be a pitch or two ahead of where I am. Unfortunately, I don't really have much control over it, as that pitch scats away from the catcher, and up to second base goes Jordan Walker. That's going to be a wild pitch on Imanaga. So not the start Imanaga was hoping for. One-0 pitch from Imanaga to Burleson. Swing and a miss. 1-1. One pitch, swing and a miss. Burleson went after a low one there. It's 1-2. Being informal. I appreciate that, Drusta. I wish every time I've tried to take this delay off, it starts buffering real bad. So that's why I can't. I've just got to kind of live with it. One-two pitch on the way to Burleson. Upstairs, 2-2. Two pitch. That is called strike 3. And is Burleson going to challenge it? He is not. He walks back to the dugout. It looks like he was a little unsure if he wanted to challenge that or not. I don't know if in the first inning you want to try to use one up, but let's see. That's close. 2 down, and here's Mason Wynn. Wynn hitting .253, 4 home runs. He's drove in 37. Strike 1. Wynn homered in the Cardinals' win yesterday. Strike 1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and now it's 0-2 the count on Mason Wynn. 0-2 pitch. That's hit foul. Oh, Drewsta, you lived in Chicago for 3 months, did you? Wrigley Field. I only live about 3 hours away from, so between 3 and 4 hours away from Chicago, but I have never seen a game at Wrigley Field. I have never made it up there. That's one of the places on my bucket list. 0-2 pitches outside, 1-2. Yeah, I don't, Drew. I don't know that the Dodgers. I see what you're saying about Shota going to the Dodgers, but I don't foresee that being in it case right now. There's a swing and a miss, strike three. Wynn strikes out, and that'll do it in the first. But a leadoff first pitch home run by Weatherholt gets the Cardinals on the board, 1-0. Cubs coming up in the bottom of the first. Yeah, I agree with Wrigley. Yeah, I definitely want to get up there just to say it's one of those that just to say I've been one of the ballparks that I have to get to someday. They love Japan. Yes, they do. The Dodgers do love their Japanese. Yes, they do. Here's the Cubs batting order tonight that they will send up, leading it off. For the Cubs tonight, center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong, who was just named part of the All-Star game. We will run down. They've announced the All-Star teams earlier tonight. We'll run that down during the broadcast or during the live stream tonight as well. I also said broadcast like I'm on the live stream tonight. Batting second and playing third base is Alex Bregman. Hitting third and playing first base is Michael Busch. Cleanup hitter for the Cubs is the DH, Seiya Suzuki. Batting fifth and playing left field, Ian Happ. Nico Horner at second base in the number 6 spot. Hitting seventh and playing right field, Michael Conforto. In the number 8 spot for the Cubs tonight, the catcher, Miguel Amaya. And rounding out the Cubs batting order tonight and hitting ninth, the shortstop, Dansby Swanson. So again, the Cubs batting order, top third, Crow, Armstrong, Bregman, and Busch. Middle third of the order, Suzuki, Happ, and Horner. With the bottom third of Conforto, Amaya, and Swanson. And getting the start on the mound tonight for the Cardinals. Excuse me. Getting the start tonight on the mound for the Cardinals is Kyle Leahy, getting his 17th start of the year, 6-4 record, 4.09 ERA. He's walked 31, struck out 67 in 81 and a third innings. Before he throws a pitch, he inherits a 1-0 lead. And here's Pete Crow Armstrong, lead off in the bottom of the first, taking strike one. Pete Crow Armstrong, a .287 hitter, 19 home runs. He's drove in 49. Pitch down low, 1-1. One pitch misses, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Pete Crow Armstrong holds up as the pitch is the ball, 3-1. Three-one pitch. That's a strike. Pete Crow Armstrong threw his bat thinking it was ball 4, and he's going to challenge it. Let's see if he's right as we have our first ABS challenge of the night. Nope, it's a strike. And so already the Cubs have lost one of their 2 ABS challenges. 3-2 payoff pitch. That is for sure ball four as it's up and in. Leadoff walk to Pete Crow Armstrong, and it will bring up Alex Bregman. Bregman hitting .243, 7 home runs. He's drove in 31. Leadoff man on here at the bottom of the first for the Cubs. Bregman drove in the lone run for the Cubs in the game yesterday as he starts with a pitch low and outside, ball one. Pete Crow Armstrong, he does have 21 steals this year, and that's inside. 1-1 now the count on Bregman. And there's a pickoff throw over to first. Pete Crow Armstrong back. One pitch. That is ripped foul, first base side. 1-2. One-two pitch, that's down low. 2-2. Two pitch. Strike three called. Bregman down on strikes. One down in the inning. Batter will be Michael Busch. Busch hitting .235, 11 home runs. He's drove in 47. Runner at first, one out. And Leahy steps off. Ball one. One-0 pitch. That's down low. 2-0. That's a strike. Pete Crow Armstrong takes off, and he is out. A perfect throw by Pages to gun down Pete Crow Armstrong, trying to steal second. That was a strike from Pages. Thrown down to second base. They got Pete Crow Armstrong by a pretty good margin. So now the base is empty and 2 outs and a swing and a miss by Michael Busch. Evens the count 2-2. Leahy's 2-2 pitch on the way to Bush. Hit foul. If you're watching this game tonight, the four guys in the front row behind the advertising board, they're dressed like Paul Revere. I know it's for the 4th of July for the 250th anniversary. It's awesome, but they look awesome back there. There's a swing and a miss by Bush to end the inning. Pete Crow Armstrong draws a walk, but is thrown out trying to steal. And we've played one at Wrigley. Cardinals lead the Cubs 1-0. Scoreboard update for you. Games in progress. Orioles lead the Reds 8-4. Top of the 7th in Cincinnati. White Sox lead Cleveland 2-1, bottom of the 8th inning. Rays 8, Astros 5. Bottom of the 7th inning in Houston. Braves lead the Mets 6-0. Top of the 5th inning in Atlanta. Phillies lead the Royals 3-1 in Kansas City. Bottom of the 5th. Giants 4, Rockies 3. That game only in the 2nd inning. Offensive slugfest at Coors Field in the 1st inning. Getting underway shortly, Red Sox, Angels, Marlins, Athletics, Brewers, Diamondbacks, and first pitch about a half hour away between the Padres and the Dodgers. Finals from earlier today. Pirates win over the Nationals 7-1. Twins beat the Yankees 11-4. Yankees have now lost 8 of 9. Tigers shut out the Rangers 3-0, and the Mariners 11-0 over the Blue Jays. Head to the 2nd inning here. And the first pitch is fouled back by Jose Fermin, leading it off in the top of the 2nd. Fermin hitting .271, 3 home runs. He's drove in 16. Strike one pitch from Imanaga's fouled back. It's 0-2. O2 pitch, that's upstairs, 1-2. One-two pitch. Fermin fouls it back to stay alive. One-two pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. Two-two pitch to Fermin from Imanaga. That is hit foul, third base side. Still 2-2. 2-2 pitch. That is in the air to left. Coming on and making the catch is Ian Happ for the first out here in the top of the second. Brings up Lars Nootbaar. Hitting 300 on the year, 2 home runs. He's drove in 8. Pitch to Nootbaar is a strike. Strike 1 pitch. That's bounced foul, and it's 0-2 now on Nootbaar. I think the neighbors bought up the whole fireworks store. Oh, 2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. Imanaga's 1-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Outside, that'll even the count, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Right down the middle, strike 3. Nootbaar strikes out for out number 2, and it will bring up the number 8 hitter, the catcher, Pedro Pages. Pages hitting .222, 4 home runs. He's drove in 11. Steps up with the bases empty and 2 outs here in the Cardinals' second. Strike 1. Oh, 1. That's upstairs. That'll even the count, a ball and a strike. One is hit foul. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch to Pages from Imanaga. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cardinals down in order 1-2-3 in the second. We go to the bottom of the second at Wrigley. Cardinals lead at 1-0. So here in between innings here, let's go ahead and take a look at the All-Star starters in the National League. These were announced a couple hours ago. We'll take a look at the American League starters here next half inning. Let's go ahead and take a look at these starters in the National League for the All-Star game, which is coming up a week from Tuesday. Drake Baldwin of the Braves gets the starting nod at the catcher. That'll be his first All-Star appearance, to no one's big surprise. Starting first baseman Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers. That's his 10th All-Star selection. Another Brave, Ozzie Albies, getting the start at second base, his 4th All-Star selection. Another Dodger at third base, Max Muncy, in his 3rd All-Star selection. C.J. Abrams of the Nationals gets the starting nod. Just his 2nd All-Star selection, making his 1st All-Star game. Outfielder Brandon Marsh of the Phillies. He is one of the 3 starting outfielders. Juan Soto of the Mets, another starter. That's his 5th All-Star selection. And also a first-timer, Andy Pages of the Dodgers, to round out the outfield. And, of course, To no one's surprise either, starting DH Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers. So the Dodgers with 4 all-star starters this year, the Braves with 2. Mets, Phillies, and Nationals all with 1 each. And that's with Drake Baldwin missing about a month of the season this year for Atlanta. So 3 first-timers in the starting lineup for the National League this year. We'll run down the American League starters coming up either next half inning or in a couple half innings, and then we'll run down the reserves later on tonight as well. But that is the starting lineup for the National League in this year's All-Star Game. Back here, we move to the bottom of the second inning. Seiya Suzuki leads it off. 271 hitter, 13 home runs. He's drove in 42, and the 0-1 misses low. Counts even 1-1. One pitch is in the air to left. Making the play on it and making the catch is Nootbaar for out number 1. One down here in the bottom of the second brings up Ian Happ. Ian Happ, a 220 hitter, 17 home runs. He's drove in 41. Ball 1. One-zero pitch. Bouncer back to the pitcher, and Leahy, the underhand throw over to first in plenty of time to retire Happ for out number 2. Bases empty, 2 outs for Nico Hoerner. Hoerner, a 241 hitter, 4 home runs. He's drove in 36. Pitch up and in for ball 1. One-zero pitch to Nico Hoerner. That's high. It's 2-0. Two-zero pitch. Lined into right field. Getting under it for the catch. In right field is Walker, and the Cubs go 1-2-3 in the second. On we go to the third. On a 4th of July night at Wrigley, Cardinals lead it 1-0. As I mentioned at the outset, Cubs come into the night 6 games behind the first place Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers getting underway in the desert against the Diamondbacks. Cardinals come in 7.5 back in the NL Central. One more game between these two teams, and then the Cardinals, they got a big series coming up starting on Monday. The first place Milwaukee Brewers will come to Busch Stadium starting on Monday. That's going to be actually a 5-game series between the Brewers and the Cardinals. So that's going to be a big series right before the All-Star break. They got a doubleheader on Tuesday to make up for a rainout earlier in the year. So I know we still have a second half of the season to go, but that series there coming up this week could determine whether the Cardinals be able to stay in this race in the Central. Cubs have a day off on Monday before heading to Baltimore to start a series with the Baltimore Orioles on Tuesday. So on we go, the third inning here. Nathan Church is going to lead it off for the Cardinals. Church hitting .257, 8 home runs. He's drove in 28. Imanaga back to work. First pitch, top 3 to Church. Strike 1. Church, and then the lineup resets to the top of the order, Weatherholt and Herrera. Church homered yesterday for the Cardinals in their 17-1 win. 0-1 pitch misses down low, counts even 1-1. One pitch hit foul, first base side. Count goes to 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Church. That's upstairs, 2-2. Two. Outside, that'll fill the count, 3-2. Payoff pitch to Church from Imanaga. That's ball 4. That'll be a leadoff walk to Church. And it'll bring up J.J. Weatherholt, who, on the first pitch he saw this game, parked it to the net in left field. Just clearing the ivy wall there. Ball 1 to Weatherholt. One-0 pitch. Right there for strike 1 at the knees, 1-1. One pitch. Yeah, throw over to first, and Church dives back in. Church with 5 steals on the season. Cardinals not a super heavy stolen base team. They got 55 on the year. One pitch is hit foul, and that will move the count to 1-2. One-two pitch from Imanaga to Weatherholt upstairs, 2-2. Two pitch. Hit foul, left side. That will get out of play. Count stays 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Outside, and that'll fill the count, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Downstairs, ball 4. Back-to-back walks to lead off the third inning from Imanaga. Will bring up Ivan Herrera. Herrera, strikeout victim his first time up. Now meeting on the mound here before this at-bat begins to Herrera. Imanaga sets to Herrera. And the pitch. Bounce foul, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch is on the outside corner, 0-2. And Imanaga looks back to second. Oh, 2 pitch hits the mound and goes into center field for a base hit. Church rounding third and scoring. Weatherhold has drove in both runs, or excuse me, I'm sorry, that was Herrera. It's 2-0 Cardinals. So the first 3 Cardinals have reached here in the third inning. And here's Jordan Walker. He walked his first time up. A 1 pitch. Upstairs, check swing over to first, no swing. Says the first base umpire, Brock Ballou. 1-1. One pitch. Bounce to short. They'll go to second 1, on to first 2. Double play. A big double play turned by the Cubs. Weatherhold advances to third. Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol seeing if he wanted to challenge that play at first base. He says no. And it's wise he didn't. He is out. Barely. So Alec Burleson will step up with a runner at third and 2 outs. Strike one. Burleson struck out back in the first. 0-1 pitch. That's high. He evens the count 1-1. Imanaga already at 60 pitches, and he's not even out of the third inning yet. 1-1 pitch to Burleson. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One-two pitch, swing and a miss. Burleson strikes out for the second time. That does it for the Cardinals in the third. They get one, but it could have been worse for the Cubs. We go to the bottom of the third. Cardinals now lead at 2-0. So Imanaga, through his first 3 innings, only given up 2 hits, but he has walked 3 men. But it's only given up the 2. And now let's see if the Cubs can find some offense here, down by 2 runs now in the bottom of the third inning. Bottom third of the Cubs order due up here in the bottom of the third inning. First of the early evening games has now gone final. White Sox beat Cleveland 3-1. So Michael Conforto will lead it off here in the bottom of the third for the Cubs. First pitch, bottom 3, strike 1. Conforto hitting .240 on the year, 7 home runs. He's drove in 21. Strike 1 pitch downstairs. That'll even the count 1-1. One. Ball 2. 2-1. Two-one pitch is hit foul. That will even the count 2-2. Two-two pitch. That's a bouncer to third, and that's going to be no play. It can only be backhanded by Fermin. He had no chance to throw out Conforto, and the Cubs have their first hit of the game, an infield single here in the bottom of the third. And the batter will be Amaya. Miguel Amaya takes ball one. Amaya hitting .229 on the year. 3 home runs. He drove in 13. 1-0 pitch hit foul. That'll even the count, a ball and a strike on Amaya. One pitch. A little high, 2-1. Now the count on Amaya. Leahy's 2-1 pitch hit foul. That will even the count, 2-2. Leahy's 2-2 pitch, check swing, no swing, says the first base umpire. That'll fill the count. Here comes the 3-2 payoff pitch. Here it comes. It's a throw over to first instead. Conforto dives back in. Three-two payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Amaya strikes out. That's the third strikeout for Leahy. Brings up Dansby Swanson. Swanson, a .208 hitter, 16 home runs. He's drove in 57. He is the Cubs' RBI leader. Strike one. A 1 pitch downstairs evens the count, 1-1. Swanson calls time prior to the 1-1. One pitch. Hit foul, 1-2 on Dansby Swanson. Top of the order, Pete Crow Armstrong is on deck. Swanson ready for Leahy's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Fourth strikeout for Leahy. And it'll bring up Pete Crow Armstrong with the bases with a runner at first and 2 outs. Pete Crow Armstrong walked his first time up. Leahy's pitch hit foul, strike one. Strike one pitch to Pete Crow Armstrong hit foul, and now he's in an 0-2 hole. Oh, 2 pitch upstairs, 1-2. The count on Pete Crow Armstrong. One, two. That's down low. 2-2. Two pitch on the way to Pete Crow Armstrong. Bounced foul. Stays alive. Two pitch upstairs. That'll fill the count. And now Conforto will get a head start from first base. Crowd at Wrigley comes to their feet. Payoff pitch on the way. Hit foul. And we'll do it again. Good battle here between Leahy and Crow Armstrong. Be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Another 3-2 pitch. Conforto goes, and another foul. So it'll be a 9-pitch at bat, at least. Conforto again will get the head start from first. 3-2 is ball 4. That's a heck of an at bat by Pete Crow Armstrong. Inning will continue with 2 on and 2 outs for Alex Bregman. Bregman took a called strike 3 his first time up back in the first. Pages going out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher. Been a high pitch count third inning for Leahy. He's thrown 24 pitches here in this third inning. Pitch to Bregman at the knee, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a little low. Counts even. 1-1. 1-1. That's downstairs. 2-1. Good stop by Pajes to keep the runners at first and second. Two one. That's low. It's 3-1. Leahy in danger of walking the bases loaded here. Michael Busch on deck. Again, the crowd at Wrigley comes to their feet. A sellout crowd. Three-one pitch. On the ground to third. And beating Conforto to the bag to end the inning. Fermin fielded it and just beat Conforto to the bag for out number 3. Cubs strand 2. We head to the 4th. 2-0 Cardinals. So here in the top of the 4th inning, we showed you the National League starters for the All-Star game. Now let's show you the starters for the American League for the upcoming All-Star game. And good to see Shea Langoliers of the Athletics get credit for his season he's having. First All-Star selection for him. He gets voted the starting catcher. Vladimir Guerrero, no big surprise there, from the Blue Jays, getting his 6th All-Star selection as starting first baseman. Starting second baseman, another Blue Jay, his first All-Star selection, Ernie Clement. Getting the start at third base, Junior Caminero of the Rays. It'll be his 2nd All-Star selection. Starting shortstop will be Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals. Royals not having a good year, but Bobby Witt still getting the kudos here. His 3rd All-Star selection. Starting outfield, to no one's big surprise, Mike Trout of the Angels. 12th All-Star selection for Trout. Byron Buxton of the Twins getting his 3rd selection. And, of course, Aaron Judge, but, of course, he's out. Still gets voted to his 8th All-Star game. And the starting DH will be Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. His 4th All-Star selection. So that's the elected starters in the American League. As I said, of course, Aaron Judge will not be in the game because he's out. We will show you the reserves coming up later on. Back here we go to the 4th inning. Cardinals leading at 2-0. Got out of a little bit of a jam there in the 3rd. Mason Wynn to lead it off here in the Cardinals' 4th. Wynn was a strikeout victim his first time up. First pitch, top 4, strike 1. Strike 1 pitch. It's now 0-2. Oh, 2 on the way. That's a little high. Ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes on Mason Wynn, leading it off here in the Cardinals' 4th. One-two pitch is in the air, right side, foul, and that will get out of play. Count stays 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Foul territory. Will it stay in play? Yes, it does. The catch is made by Michael Busch for the first out. Brings up Jose Fermin. Flew out his first time up back in the second. Pitch to Fermin is lined into left. That's going to get down for a base hit. Fermin with a one-out single here in the fourth inning. And Lars Nootbaar will step up. Nootbaar, a strikeout victim his first time up. The pitch. Inside corner, strike one. Only had one ABS challenge in this game so far. That was by Pete Crow Armstrong back in the bottom of the first, and he was unsuccessful. So the Cubs have one ABS challenge left. Cardinals still with their 2. 0-1 pitch. Ball 1. Evens the count, of ball and a strike. Imanaga looks in and delivers the 1-1 pitch to Nootbaar. That's bounced foul as it hit Nootbaar in the box. 1-2. One-two pitch. On the ground to short. This will be over to second. One on to first for the 6-4-3 double play. And that ends the top of the fourth inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still Cardinals 2, Cubs nothing. 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Cubs. Michael Busch, Seiya Suzuki, and Ian Happ due up in the bottom of the fourth inning. Be back with you on the live stream tomorrow. At least one game, maybe 2 games tomorrow. Still not sure what those games are going to be. I will try and let you know what those will be here before I sign off for the evening. May very well do the finale of this series tomorrow. We'll see. By the way, in the finale of this 3-game series tomorrow, starting pitching matchup, Matthew Liberatore gets the start for the Cardinals. Javier Assad, the scheduled starting pitcher for the Cubs. Very well may do the finale of this 3-game series tomorrow. Have an update for sure for the end of the day. Finals today as we got the round of 16 underway today in the FIFA World Cup. Finals from earlier today. Morocco ends Canada's run. Morocco with a 3-0 win. And was watching the end of this game before I signed on. France and Paraguay. It was a good one. France with a penalty kick goal in the second half. The only goal of the game by Mbappe. 1-0. France beats Paraguay. So France and Morocco will meet in the quarterfinal round of the World Cup. Tomorrow in the World Cup, round of 16 continues with Brazil and Norway. Mexico and England. The second game tomorrow. United States has their round of 16 game coming up Monday evening against Belgium. So we'll see if the Americans can keep it going in the World Cup. We head to the bottom of the fourth here. Michael Busch will lead it off. First pitch, bottom four, fouled back, strike one. Got a couple more finals that have rolled in from baseball. Orioles beat the Reds 8-5. And the Astros come all the way back to beat the Rays 10-8. 0-1 pitch misses outside here, a ball and a strike. One pitch is fouled off. Counts now 1-2 on Michael Busch. One-two pitch on the way to Busch is in the air to right center field. It's going to stay in the park, though. Catch made out there by Jordan Walker for the first out. Brings up Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki a fly out to left his first time up. First pitch is a little low, ball one. One-zero pitch, that's right down the middle for strike one. Ball and a strike, the count on Suzuki. One pitch. That's hit to third, foul. Again, worth repeating, Cubs enter the night 6 back of first place Milwaukee in the Central. Cardinals come in 7.5 back. 1-2 pitch is foul, and the teams are getting good news. The Brewers are trailing the Diamondbacks 3-0, top of the third inning in Arizona. Again, the Brewers and Cardinals start a 5-game series in St. Louis on Monday. 1-2 is a swing and a miss, strike three. Strikeout number 5 from Leahy. And it will bring up Ian Happ with the bases empty and 2 outs. Happ grounded out back to the pitcher his first time. Happ lines this one into right field for a base hit. Ian Happ has himself a 2-out single here in the bottom of the fourth. And it will bring up Nico Hoerner. Hoerner flew out back in the second inning. And Hoerner sends this one into right center field. Calling for it is Church. He's got it. 2-out single by Ian Happ, but he's stranded at first. We go to the fifth. Still the Cardinals up 2-0. 8, 9, and 1 for the Cardinals. Pages, Church, and Weatherholt due up in the top of the 5th inning. As the Cardinals look to take the first 2 of this series. Much different game from yesterday, as it was a 17-1 Cardinals win yesterday. Much more competitive game in this one. Coming up here at the next half inning, we will run down the pitchers that were selected to the All-Star game from the National League. And we'll also run down the American League pitchers and the All-Star reserves throughout this game as well. Cardinals 5th inning, it's going to be Pedro Pages leading it off. Pages was a strikeout victim his first time up. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Cardinals. They've left 2 runners on base. No runs, 2 hits for the Cubs. They've stranded 3. Both pitchers a little high on the pitch count through 4 innings. Imanaga's at 72 pitches. Leahy's at 65. A sold-out Wrigley Field on this 4th of July evening. First pitch, top 5 to Pages, is fouled away, and it will get out of play. Nice catch by a fan there by the dugout. Wearing a Jake Arrieta jersey. Oh, 1 pitch to Pages. That's down in the dirt, 1-1. A foggy evening in Chicago. One pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Been raining pretty much all day in Chicago, but now it's foggy. But now something I can't even believe I'm saying for Chicago. There's next to no wind. 1-2 pitch. Pages fouls it back. Count stays 1-2. Nathan Church on deck. 1-2 pitch downstairs. Counts even 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. That's high, and the count goes full, 3-2. Imanaga's payoff pitch to Pages. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7th strikeout on the night for Imanaga, and there's the first out here in the 5th. It will bring up Nathan Church. Church walked his first time up. Ball one. One 0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. Starting to see some action in the Cubs bullpen. One pitch is foul. 1-2. Now the count. See who that is warming up in the Cubs pen. I believe that's Tyler Ferguson. Getting loose for the Cubs. 1-2 pitch to Church. Swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Imanaga. That's 8 in the game. And we're back to the top of the order, J.J. Weatherholt. Weatherholt's 1 for 1. He homered on the first pitch he saw back in the first inning. And he walked in the third. Pitch misses here, ball one. One 0 pitch. That's outside. It's 2-0. Two 0 pitch. Lined into left center field. That's going to get down and go bounce off the wall. Weatherholt will pull in at second with a 2-out stand-up double. Weatherholt's reached base all 3 times tonight for the Cardinals. And it'll bring up Herrera. Herrera, an RBI single back in the third. And he struck out back in the first. And that's going to be the end of the night for Imanaga as Craig Counsell makes his way out to the mound. So Imanaga cannot make it through the 5th in this one as he exits after 4 2/3 innings. And it will be Tyler Ferguson coming in. Tyler Ferguson in his 6th game as a Cub coming over from the A's. Got a 1.69 ERA. 8 strikeouts for Ferguson. He's pitched 5 1/3 innings. Inherits a runner at second with 2 outs here. So Imanaga, 4 2/3 innings. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned so far. Walked 3 and struck out 8. He threw 86 pitches. He is responsible for the runner at second. A 2-out double by J.J. Weatherholt has him at second, and Herrera is the batter. First pitch to Ferguson, and it hits Herrera. So that'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs for Jordan Walker. So the first pitch Ferguson throws is a hit batter as he hits Herrera. Now here's Walker. He walked and hit into a double play. Strike 1. Strike 1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and now Walker's down in the count, 0-2. Weatherhold at second, Herrera at first. The 2 base runners for the Cardinals. Walker calls for time before the 0-2 pitch. Here's the 0-2. Just missed. 1-2. Ferguson's 1-2 pitch to Walker. Bounced foul. Count stays 1-2. One-two pitch. Walker hits it foul. That will get out of play. One-two pitch. That's upstairs. Check swing over to first. No swing. That wasn't even close. 2-2. Two-two pitch. Right there, strike 3. Walker watches it go by. Cardinals strand 2. We head to the bottom of the 5th at Wrigley. Still 2-0 Cardinals. Looking at the standings here in the first half of the season. Go ahead and drop me in the live chat. What's been your biggest surprise in the Major League standings the first half of the season? It's got to be Tampa Bay, doesn't it, in the American League East? I don't think anybody saw this coming with the Rays. Can they keep it going in the second half? And on the other side, what's been the most disappointing team the first half of the season? That, again, probably has to be the Mets, doesn't it? Cubs here in the 5th have the bottom third of the order. Conforto, Amaya, and Swanson. So that does close the book on Imanaga tonight. Coming up here at the top of the 6th inning, we will show you the pitchers that got chosen for the All-Star game for the National League. Fog's getting thicker and thicker over Wrigley Field as the night goes on. Here we go. First pitch, bottom 5. Conforto lines into right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Conforto starts off the bottom of the 5th with a leadoff single for the Cubs. And the batter will be Amaya. Amaya, strikeout victim his first time up. Coming up, representing the tying run. Pitch to Amaya, hit foul, strike 1. Strike 1 pitch to Amaya. That's lined into right field. Walker's going to get to this one, though, for out number 1. Conforto will retreat back to first. Brings up Dansby Swanson. I don't wonder if this fog, which is getting thicker and thicker, is going to start becoming a problem for these fielders. Dansby Swanson struck out his first time, takes ball 1 here. '70th pitch of the night for Leahy comes inside. It's 2-0 on Dansby Swanson. Comes the 2-0 pitch. That foul, that got a piece of Pages behind the plate. 2-1. Two-one pitch to Dansby Swanson. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Two-two pitch from Leahy. Swing and a miss. Swanson goes after a low one. And Leahy with his 6th strikeout. Back to the top of the order, Pete Crow Armstrong with a runner at first and 2 outs. Pete Crow Armstrong has walked twice tonight. Here's the pitch. Way high, ball 1. One-zero pitch. That hits Pete Crow Armstrong. And that will put runners at first and second. And that will bring the go-ahead run to the plate for the Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong going to try and walk that one off. Trainer coming out to have a look at him. Think I got him on top of the right foot. Got him on the side of the right foot. Yeah, that's going to sting. Ouch. Alex Bregman will be the batter. Pete Crow Armstrong's taking a couple practice runs down to first base and back. He's going to stay in the ball game. Yeah, that's going to be a nice little bruise in the morning. Here's Alex Bregman. Struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. Ball one. One-zero pitch. In the air, popped up, and the catch made in foul territory by Burleson to end the bottom of the fifth. Cubs strand 2. We head to the 6th. Cardinals still pitching a shutout. It's 2-0. So as we head to the top of the 6th, let's take a look now at the pitchers that were chosen for this year's All-Star Game. We will start in the National League. Got 5 first-time All-Star selections in here, led by Chase Burns of the Reds. Other first-timers, Johan Duran of the Phillies, Raisel Iglesias of the Braves, Max Meyer of the Marlins, and Eduardo Rodriguez of the Diamondbacks. All first-time selections. Mason Miller of the Padres, Jacob Mizorowski of the Brewers, both those getting their second All-Star Game appearances, as does Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the hero for the Dodgers on the mound in last year's World Series. Those are all second-time All-Star selections. Chris Sale of the Braves going to go for the 10th time. And Paul Skeens of the Pirates and Logan Webb of the Giants getting their third selections. So that's the pitchers that were chosen for the All-Star Game in the National League. Jacob Mizorowski has to be the favorite right now in the National League Cy Young race. He has just been a beast on the mound for the Brewers this year. Run down the American League pitchers coming up here. And we head to the bottom of the top of the 6th inning. First pitch swinging is lined into left center field for a base hit. Alec Burleson starts off the 6th with a leadoff single to left center. And it'll bring up Mason Wynn. 5th hit tonight for the Cardinals. Wynn coming up 0 for 2, a strikeout and a foul out. First pitch swinging by Wynn is into center field, and the play out there is made by Pete Crow Armstrong. He almost lost that. I know that fog has got to be playing a factor here, because Pete Crow Armstrong looked like he nearly lost that one. One down here in the Cardinals' 6th. And Fermin steps up with 1 for 2 tonight, a single and a fly out, takes ball 1. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That's hit foul. Counts even 1-1. Ferguson back out there for the Cubs for his first full inning of relief. One pitch. Inside, 2-1. Two-one pitch instead of throw over, and it gets away into right field. Burleson taking second and will hold there. So that'll be the first error of the game. It'll be a throwing error on Ferguson. So the Cardinals have an insurance run in scoring position. 2-1-2 for me and strike two. Action in the Cubs bullpen again here. Tell you who that is after this 2-2 pitch, which is foul. It's Ryan Rollison warming up for the Cubs. Two and two the count on Fermin. Two-two pitch, swing and a miss. He went after an outside one. Two down. And Lars Nootbaar will step up with the runner at second and 2 outs. Nootbaar has struck out and grounded into a double play, and it's not going to be against Tyler Ferguson. It's going to be against Rollison that Nootbaar will bat against. Third pitcher of the night for the Cubs coming in. Ryan Rollison coming in for the 28th time on the season, 5-1 record. 1.97 ERA. Walked 13, struck out 31 in 32 innings. Comes in inheriting a runner at second and 2 outs. Who's that? Shad's Comics and Beers? Is that in the live chat? Can't get anything going offensively. Yeah, it's been a rough last couple games offensively for the Cubs. That's why baseball is a funny sport. This is a Cubs team that just on, was that Thursday? When was that? Wednesday or Thursday when they put up 23 runs on the Padres? But just have not been able to get anything going offensively the last couple games. I think that was Wednesday, wasn't it, when they put up the 23 runs? So Ferguson goes 1 full inning, gives up 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. He is responsible for the runner at second. It was on Wednesday. I thought it was Wednesday. Yeah. Still only a 2-run game. Well, if the Cubs can get something going here, still plenty of time. Has a swing and a miss on Rollison's first pitch. to Lars Nootbaar. Oh, 1 pitch right there for strike 2. Count quickly goes to 0-2. Runner at second, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night on 3 pitches to get the Cubs out of the 6th, still down just 2. Bottom of the 6th coming at foggy Wrigley Field. Still Cardinals 2, Cubs nothing. Be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Cubs. Bush, Suzuki, and Happ due up in the bottom of the 6th, so that will close the line on Tyler Ferguson. Final now in Kansas City. The Phillies defeat the Royals 6-1. Been a rough first half of the season for Kansas City this year. Still 3-0. Diamondbacks leading the Brewers, bottom of the 4th in the desert. So if that score holds, either the Cardinals or the Cubs will pick up a game on the Brewers. Again, I've mentioned it twice, but it's worth repeating. Cardinals and Brewers have a 5-game series in St. Louis beginning on Monday. It's a 5-game series. They got a doubleheader on Tuesday to make up for a rainout earlier in the year. That's probably, even though we still have the second half of the season to go, that might be a telling sign to see if the Cardinals can stay in the National League Central race or not. That 5-game series coming up. Bottom of the 6th inning. New Cardinals pitcher, and there's a strike to begin the bottom of the 6th. New Cardinal pitcher is George Soriano. Give you his numbers after this next pitch to Michael Bush. Ball 1. Soriano out for the 39th time, 3-2 record, 3.38 ERAs, walked 16, struck out 30 in 37 and a third innings. So Kyle Leahy goes 5 innings. He can get the win, making it through 5. 1-1 pitch is inside, 2-1. Soriano's 2-1 pitch to Michael Bush. Swing and a miss. Or actually, I'm swinging a foul ball. Nonetheless, it's 2-2. Two pitch gets by, and the count is full, 3-2. Payoff pitch to Michael Busch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Soriano with a strikeout. And it'll bring up Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki, a flyout and a strikeout tonight. So the final line tonight for Kyle Leahy goes 5 innings, gives up just 3 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He threw 77 pitches. If this holds, he will get his 7th win of the season. Strike 1 to Suzuki. Oh, 1 is fouled back, and Suzuki's in an 0-2 hole. Soriano's 0-2 pitch to Suzuki. That's a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts by Soriano here in the bottom of the 6th. This is getting to where the center field camera, you can barely make anything out. It is. Fog has taken over Wrigley Field tonight. Ian Happ steps up with the bases empty and 2 outs. Happ has singled and grounded out. He's got one of the 3 Cub hits tonight. Ball 1 outside. Looks like we're going to have an ABS challenge here by the Cardinals. Their first of the night. I think that's what. Or is it? Got some kind of stoppage here. Oh, the Cardinals are all saying they can't see anything. So that was the delay. And now Pages, the Cardinal catcher, is talking to the home plate umpire, Mark Ripperger. I mean, I've seen fog games before in Major League Baseball, but this one's getting to the point where, yeah. I mean, they're playing on right now, though. Yeah, you can barely see anything from the center field camera now. 1-0 pitch is hit foul. That'll even the count 1-1. Alec Burleson, J.J. Weatherholt saying they can't see anything. All the Cardinals infielders. Yeah, this is pretty bad. 1-1 pitch is on the ground to short. Throw to first in time, and that'll do it for the Cubs. 1-2-3 in the 6th. On we go to the 7th. In the baseball version of the Fog Bowl, it's 2-0 Cardinals. Just got a message in the live chat. Oh, when does Pete bat? He's let's see. He will be due up. It'll be 6, 7, and he's 5 batters away yet. But I'm actually not sure. I know this is not the time you would call a game, but I mean, this is getting to the point where it's getting a little. I mean, I think it's getting a little dangerous out there. The infielders are starting to say they can't see the ball or anything. Before we go any farther, let's go ahead and look at the American League pitchers that were selected for the All-Star game. We'll run down the National League last inning. Now here's a look at the American League pitchers. Got 7 first-timers on the American League pitcher list. Brian Baker of the Rays, Dylan Cease of the Blue Jays, Jacob Latz of the Rangers, Parker Messick of Cleveland, Cam Schlittler of the Yankees, Cade Smith of Cleveland, and Louis Varland of the Blue Jays, all getting their first All-Star appearances. Run down the rest of the list here real quick. Aroldis Chapman of the Red Sox for the 9th time. Drew Rasmussen of the Rays, Joe Ryan of the Twins getting their second selections, as well as Ranger Suarez of the Red Sox and Michael Wacha of the Royals. So that's the 12 pitchers selected from the American League for this year's All-Star game. Cam Schlittler is having a heck of a first half of the season for the Yankees. Meanwhile, here, now Craig Counsell's out talking to the umpires. User in the live chat, you don't know how Vladdy's and all say, yeah, Vlad, he's not having the season he's used to have, that's for sure. That's the one main issue I have with the fan votes. You know, fan voting, I mean, I get why it's in play and it's all fun, but yeah, they go based on just fandom, and they don't really look at overall numbers. Looks like we're having possibly a discussion here. About what they're going to do about this game. I mean, fog is basically covering the infield. Like I said, the infielder is saying they can't see the ball. They have about 3 options. They can either try to continue this or suspend it and pick it up before the regularly scheduled game tomorrow. I guess really only 2 options. The players have not returned to the field. For obvious reasons, when I do the live stream, I have the sound down, but I see Ken Rosenthal, Fox Sports is doing this game tonight, so Ken Rosenthal so I'm sure he explained what's going on. Let's see. So we have a delay right now. I think the umpires are getting together to discuss how they want to proceed. A lot of fans are standing at Wrigley Field, raising their flags up for the 4th of July. By the way, happy 4th of July to all of you out there. A lot of fans out there, their 4th of July gear, and I'm seeing a lot of United States soccer shirts out there. World Cup. Americans back in action in the World Cup on Monday in the round of 16. They'll be taking on Belgium. I truthfully do not see any way whatsoever they're going to be able to continue this. Now, Craig Counsell back out there talking to the umpires. So this game, okay, we have now said this game is now officially in a delay. Again, with this fall, I don't know how in the world they're going to be able to continue this at all. And there's. So while we have a stoppage here, let's quickly run down updated scoreboard in baseball. Some of these on the scroll on the bottom are not updated. The Braves 14-3 over the Mets. That game in the top of the ninth inning. So the Braves headed for another win. The Mets struggles continue. Giants 6, Rockies 3, bottom of the seventh in Denver. Red Sox all over the Angels 7-1. That game in the top of the fifth in Anaheim. Marlins lead the A's 4-0, bottom of the fifth. Brewers on a rally here. They've put up 2 in the fifth, so the Diamondbacks lead now 3-2 over the Brewers. That's still in the top of the fifth inning. Dodgers have scored to take a 1-0 lead over the Padres, top of the fourth inning. Finals from earlier today. Pirates defeat the Nationals 7-1. Twins 11, Yankees 4. That's now 8 of 9 on the loss side for the Yankees. Tigers shut out the Rangers 3-0. Mariners beat the Blue Jays 11-0. Orioles 8, Reds 5. White Sox win in Cleveland 3-1. Astros 10, Rays 8. Astros win it with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the ninth by Yordan Alvarez. And the Phillies beat the Royals 6-1. That final score. So while this delay continues due to fog, my personal thought on this game is they're probably going to suspend this right where it is and just pick it up tomorrow before the regularly scheduled game, which is 1:30 Central Time tomorrow. Again, the starting pitching probables in that final game of the series tomorrow between the Cubs and Cardinals. Matthew Liberatore getting the scheduled start for the Cardinals. Javier Assad, the scheduled starting pitcher for the Cubs tomorrow. As the Cubs can't seem to find their offense here the last couple games after finding a bunch of offense in their previous series against the San Diego Padres. The Bats have gone a little silent in this series so far against the Cardinals, scoring just one run in the first 15 innings in this series. And trailing 2-0. Scoreboard from the, let's get you update on some other sports action while we have this stoppage of play here. Scores earlier today from the World Cup. Morocco eliminates Canada as Morocco wins it 3-0. And France, a penalty kick goal from Mbappe in the second half. The only goal of that game as France knocks out Paraguay 1-0. So France and Morocco advance to the quarters, and they will meet in the quarterfinal round in the FIFA World Cup. Again, United States in action in the World Cup on Monday night against Belgium. That is an 8 o'clock Eastern time match between the United States and Belgium. Also, some news from the NBA. Patrick Ewing announced he will become an assistant coach for the Washington Wizards. So Patrick Ewing joining the Wizards as an assistant coach. And of course, to no one's big surprise, the old 4th of July tradition, Joey Chestnut wins again in the hot dog eating contest. 66 of them this year for Joey Chestnut as he wins for, what is that, the 18th time now I think he's won that thing? Barry Bueno, go Birds, go Bears. So, guys, I've kind of run out of things to talk about here since we're in the delay. So, if you have anything in particular you want to start a conversation, go ahead and jump in the live chat here because I've kind of run out of material here. So if you guys want to start a conversation, go ahead and chime in on the live chat here. Baseball, whatever. Until we see what exactly they're going to do with this game here. I have a feeling I know what the final outcome is going to be. I believe we're going to have a suspension until tomorrow and resume this thing because I don't see any way in the world they're going to be able to continue this. Having this game so far, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. Pitchers of record so far are the starting pitchers. Leahy's if the Cardinals hang on here, would get the win. Imanaga would be on the hook for the loss. Cardinals have left, well, actually, both teams have left 5 runners on base tonight. Teams have combined just 1 of 10 with runners in scoring position. I would do like I did prior to this game and go to a different game, but I do not have the MLB package, so we're kind of stuck here. Oh, Barry Bueno, have you ever watched the show Twin Peaks? Are you talking about the one that the old one, or because I think they brought it back, didn't they? If you're talking and for a new one, and if you're talking about the new one, the answer is no. I did watch the old one when it was on, however long ago that's been. I will plan to be back on the live stream with you tomorrow for at least one game, maybe 2, kind of leaning towards the finale of this 3-game series in this one between the Cardinals and the Cubs. Don't know exactly what the game or games are that I'm going to be doing on the live stream tomorrow yet, but probably going to be the finale of this series. Okay, hey, we're back to action here. The Cubs have just taken the field again. Wow, that fog has significantly lifted in the last 10 minutes. Holy cow. Well, here we go. My goodness, that was fast. We're back playing here. Pedro Pages leading it off for the Cardinals here in the 7th. Oh, 1 pitch is outside. Boy, that fog has significantly lifted, so good to see. So maybe they will get this in now. So a delay of, I don't even know how long that was. 1-1 pitch is fouled back. Ball and 2 strikes on Pages. "15-minute fog delay officially. Pages fouls off the 1-2 pitch. Pages will be followed by Church, and then the top of the order, Weatherholt, here in the Cardinals' 7th. 1-2 pitch. In the air to right. Conforto with the catch, and there's the first out here in the top of the 7th inning. Batter will be Nathan Church. A walk and a strikeout tonight for Church. Pitch to Church. Shows bunt and takes it inside. That was fouled off the bat, I thought. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Counts even. 1-1. I guess it wasn't fouled off the bat. Church has scored one of the 2 Cardinal runs in this game. 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2 on Nathan Church. One-two pitch to Church. That just missed. 2-2. Thought the Cubs might challenge that one. They have one ABS challenge remaining, but they do not. Two-two pitch. That misses outside. Full count. Payoff pitch. That's downstairs. Ball 4. And that'll be a 1-out walk to Church. No, something I should have done during that fog delay. That should have been whenever I revealed the rest of the All-Star, the reserves. Oh, well, I'll take care of that here in the next couple half innings. Top of the order now, J.J. Weatherholt, time called prior to the pitch. Oh, hang on. No, we're not in a fog delay anymore. That's fouled away. Weatherholt has reached base all 3 times tonight. There's a throw over to first. Church dives back in. Weatherholt homered on the first pitch he saw back in the first, doubled in the 5th, and he walked in the 3rd. 1-1 pitch. That's lined into left. That's a base hit. That is a 3-hit night for Weatherholt. It's first and second with 1 out for the Cardinals here in the 7th. And out comes Craig Counsell to make another pitching change. Rollison's night is done. And Trent Thornton will be the 4th Cub pitcher tonight. Thornton coming on for the 21st time, 3-2 record, 2.52 ERA. He's walked 10, struck out 11 in 25 innings. Inherits runners at first and second with 1 out here in the 7th. So Rollison, 2/3 of an inning in relief, gave 1 hit, walked 1 and struck out 1. He is responsible for the 2 runners on base. Thornton will be facing Herrera. Herrera has singled, been hit by a pitch, and struck out in this game. Let's see in the live chat. Does Pete bat again? Yeah, he's due up. Going to be due up 5th. First pitch swinging here, a swing and a miss. 0-1. Yeah, he got 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Cubs. Horner, Conforto, Amaya. Swanson, and then it would get to Pete Crow Armstrong. 0-1 pitch is outside. That'll even the count, a ball and a strike. Two on with one out for the Cardinals, looking for some insurance on their 2-0 lead here in the 7th. Thornton's pitch to Herrera outside, 2-1 now. Yeah, you bet. Thank you for tuning in, man. 2-1 pitch. That's inside, and that'll run the count full. Thornton in danger of walking the bases loaded here. Jordan Walker on deck. Time called prior to the 3-1 pitch by Herrera. (3-1). On the ground to short. They'll go to second, one on to first, two, double play. Inning over. Third double play turned by the Cubs tonight. Cardinals do not score. We're at the stretch. It's still 2-0. I mentioned it will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Horner, Conforto, and Amaya due up in the bottom of the 7th for the Cubs, looking to try to find some offense somewhere. They're still just down by 2. You need 2 total bases for Pete? Well, now, is that in the game, or do you need 2 more? Because he has walked twice already. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. I don't know why I said that. Walks don't count. I don't know why I disregard that last comment. I don't know why walks do not count for total bases, but yeah, they don't. Disregard that. Disregard that dumb comment of mine. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, this could be his final at bat coming up either whenever he comes up. He'll for sure get up in the 8th inning. New Cardinal pitcher here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Ryan Stanek, on for the 37th time, 2-1 record, 4.96 ERA, 18 walks, 38 strikeouts, and 32 2/3 innings. Here's Horner. Check swing, no swing, says the first base umpire, Brock Ballou, ball 1. Horner's flew out a couple times tonight. Horner, that one's into right center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Nico Horner with the leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll get the tying run to the plate for the Cubs in the batter of Michael Conforto. Conforto, 2 for 2 with a couple singles. He has 2 of the 4 Cub hits tonight. Ball 1. Jork in the live chat, if you're referring to, yeah, I know I'm a couple pitches behind because of this. This is an ABS challenge by the Cardinals, and they're right. Yeah, I know I'm a couple pitches behind because of this built-in delay YouTube TV has. I know. If that's what you're referring to, if that's what you're referring to on the live chat there. That pitch misses. It's a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Now 1-2.